Going back to the beginning on the theme, a lot of people think that since I played sports that I'm a big sports guy. I'm not. I'm not big into spectator sports.
Season 2 begins without warning, prancing or actually pouncing out of the bushes. Hi, I'm still Danny, and I have been this entire time.
And I'm still Cindy.
And we got a guest with us today who is actually letting us do this, believe it or not.
And I'm still Pat.
Yeah.
Is that that's how we do this? We announce ourselves as I'm still Pat.
Yeah, absolutely.
We have Pat Muhs.
And behind the camera, we always have
Josie.
And forever will be. So season 2, episode 1 officially, we did our Christmas special
yesterday,
which was a bit much.
It was great.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
A lot of fun, but we are going to be having a lot more people on to talk to within the company because we got a lot of fun people. This is a fun place to work, and we want to show you guys who are here. That being said, we're going to start with the man, the myth.
The least fun of all. I guess we're ramping up.
We're ramping up, baby.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Right. Well, that's cool. So wait a minute. You guys had a holiday party or a holiday podcast?
We did.
What did you do yesterday?
we did.
I had a silly hat on. We talked about Christmas stuff. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie, by the way?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Yeah, it's like one of my favorite Christmas movies.
Yes.
I think I've probably seen it like 8 times.
What's the family Christmas movie that you guys watch normally?
Elf.
Elf?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No
There
doubt.
we go.
Yeah.
What's the family dish? Like every year, what do you guys have?
We don't have a dish.
Really? There's nothing like a particular one?
You know, like I'm not a big dessert person, but I think that the family, like they dig desserts. And so like I really don't identify with a particular dish because I'm kind of anti-sweets. So
Oh.
yeah.
But you're so sweet though.
Yeah, that's exactly what everybody says.
But
Sweet and funny.
But this is Mr. Pat Muhs, the owner of this whole shindig we got going on here. And
Shebang.
Shindig.
we're not going to talk about roofing today. We're going to talk about you, which is your favorite subject from what I hear.
Oh, yes. Plumb full of ego.
But so just to kind of give a quick synopsis here, of course, was it originally Moose Roofing back in 97, or was it the Roofing Moose, or was it something else?
I had a business that we started when we got into town. I used to be a state trooper. That's how I ended up in Omaha. And I got stationed here in 1997. And on evenings, weekends, and days that I didn't have to work for the Nebraska State Patrol, I was doing roofing projects. Started out just... It's interestingly enough, I was talking about this very thing like 5 days ago with a potential client.
Yeah.
And came into town, just started working for a particular builder for a little while, and that didn't go very well. I didn't like it. And so one day I was up working on a roof, and I overheard a couple of people who were arguing about how a particular roofing assembly element should go for a project that they were having some problems with. And I hollered across the rooftops because the wind was just right that we could all hear each other. And I was like, hey, I can fix that. And they're like, why don't you come over here? And that's what launched my roofing business. I went from that to growing an incredibly large roofing company that was very successful. And the only thing more amazing than that was its fireball re-entry into the atmosphere and burning up as I made some bad business decisions and tanked the whole thing. It was wonderful, amazing. So then I worked in the insurance industry for about several years, and then started Moose Roofing back. I mean, like in its current version, it's been through a couple of like brand, updates. But
I remember the Roofing Moose. I've seen cards with the Roofing Moose still at the office
the
here.
little buff Moose Roofing caricature that was it was like a mix between Bullwinkle and I don't know what, He-Man, I guess, and so it's been rebranded. But yeah, that was that whole this whole endeavor, this whole thing started up again around 2008. So whatever that looks like, 2008 to 18 would be 10 years. And then, so now we're looking at like 16, 17 years and rolling.
Well, this is a kick-ass place to be. You've built this thing, and we enjoy being here. And that's why we'll talk about you for a second.
Yeah.
If you were to say, like, because you've been through a lot of iterations of the company. What would you say are some misconceptions about you? You think?
Oh gosh, I have no idea. What are the conceptions? I mean, like, let's go through a list of those. I don't know what's been conceived. Then I'll tell you what missed.
So I'll give you a conception. You are you always working, always and forever.
That's not a misconception.
Okay.
I'm going like I just never stop. I've got a, and that's both good and bad. First of all, I am blessed with an amazing wife who puts up with all of this. She, for whatever reason, knows, she gets it, that I'm kind of always on. It works for us. Doesn't always necessarily work for her, but she's incredibly gracious and she's a wonderful human being. And I would definitely not have been able to do this without her. But that conception is accurate, and it's like, and it's not because, I'm just really driven, like I'm really enthusiastic and I'm really excited about what we're doing. I can honestly, truthfully say that I'm more excited and enthusiastic about what we've got going on right now than I've ever been before in my life.
Yeah.
And it's the kind of thing that I don't hate being at work. I don't dislike it. I rather enjoy it. And I think we're doing, like, the thing that is always so encouraging to me, and it's something that I share with you guys quite regularly so that you know where I'm coming from and where my head's at, is that we're only doing about this much right of what we need to do in order to just blow the top off of this thing, when there's, I don't know how far I can reach, in here, when there's that much potential. But we're blessed even with only doing this much well, because we're following the system, we're trusting the system, we're following the program, and the blessings are heaped on, and so, like, why wouldn't I want to be here?
And it takes somebody being as enthusiastic as you are about this to get everybody else jazzed up and wanting to follow that system. Yeah. So
I don't know. I mean, like, I think everybody's pretty excited, like I walk down the halls and I see a lot of smiles, and as long as people aren't ducking, into the rooms, when I'm coming down the hallway, then I'm feeling like things are going pretty well. That would be a misconception. Yeah. Is that I have heard, like, I remember a couple of different times in council with some people that used to work at the company. It's like, yeah, man, people are terrified of you, I do charge pretty hard. I go pretty fast all the time, right? And so it's not that I won't run somebody over, but, like, I don't know why in the world anybody would be intimidated by me or terrified by me. That is certainly something that's a misconception, is that I am probably one of the most laid back and easygoing. Like, there's a difference between intensity and being difficult to be around, right? Like, I would hope that my intensity would actually be something that would be contagious and not something that would be intimidating or something that would be threatening in any way.
Yeah.
Although I must say that I'm also not stupid. I'm not naive. I recognize that not everybody likes me, and that there have been people who, have worked here, who don't work here anymore, that maybe they don't disagree, or maybe they don't necessarily agree with my philosophy or my way of life, or, any number of things that, I mean, like, the list of shortcomings on my part are it's pretty big, so you can pick anyone you want to decide why you wouldn't want to be around me. And that's cool. I'm fine with that. But I just hope, and I'm always working towards every day of making sure that that list is counterbalanced, that there's a list of a lot more reasons why you would want to be here. I have always had the attitude of that I want to make this place so successful that the people who work here could take what they've learned and go out and start their own company, but I want to make it so awesome that they don't want to go.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of the balance in my mind of, like, what we're trying to accomplish here.
You've always had an open door policy, so in terms of, like, being approachable and quite literally, I'm tough about that, right? Like, I have an open door policy for a reason, is that if you've got a problem with me, everybody in this company knows that you can walk into my office
You can sit down at my desk and you can say, Pat, you're not showing up for me the way that you said that you were going to, or that whatever decision you made, whatever, thought process you got going on, you're full of shit. And that is perfectly fine with me. I will take any challenge. I will take any insight. I will take, because I don't care if it's the youngest person in the company or the oldest person in the company, the person who is most tenured here or somebody who only started 6 weeks ago. I get amazing information and feedback from people when they're open and honest with me. Now, the converse to that is that if I catch you talking crap about me or anybody else in the company at the water cooler and spreading the disease of, bad blood within the company, if I catch that happening, I will fire you.
Yeah.
I give everybody one chance to clean that up and to make it right and to get their head screwed on straight. And then if that kind of thing persists, then you can't be here anymore. Right.
Yeah.
Like I there was a lot of years of my life where I tolerated an environment or a little bit of an atmosphere where I just had convinced myself that's like, well, not everybody in the company is going to be dedicated. Not everybody is going to necessarily be as enthusiastic. And you don't have to be as enthusiastic as me, but you got to like what you do here, right?
Right.
And I had convinced myself for a few years that it was okay to accept mediocrity, that it was okay to, allow people to succumb to the force of average, that it was all right if some people weren't, necessarily happy here and whatever else. And then one day it just dawned on me. It's like, man, if I don't want to hang out with you, if I wouldn't have you to my home for supper, if I wouldn't want to go out, and experience things in life with the people in this business, then I don't want you to be here. I want to invite you to go somewhere else and, spread your negativity elsewhere. Right.
Yeah.
And just made that call and said, we're cleaning this thing out. And I only want people working in this company who love being here. And it has been an amazing, amazing shift over the last few years.
Yeah. Yeah. Just in the time that I've been here, it's been a night and day switch flip, with the crew that we've got now. And of course the awesome additions that we've got on here. Like I'm excited.
Yeah, me too. I'm so jacked. Yeah.
Next.
Oh, what was your dream job as a kid?
No idea. I couldn't tell you. I
was going to guess fireman just for the calorie.
I was actually going to guess
throw
fireman.
it on there.
Maybe
I can assure you that being a fireman, as odd as it may sound, I have always been an adrenaline junkie. My mom, I can't remember how many it is, but it was something like 45 stitches before the age of 4. I would climb up on top of stuff and fall out of things and you name it. Fireman was never on the list. I actually believe that, if my memory serves me well, that I was pretty young when I was very impressed with a local state trooper in town. And so the state patrol was always, something probably from a young age that I was kind of intrigued with. Obviously, I think everybody knows that I was in the Marines, that when I was going to enlist coming out of high school and go in the Marine Corps, but I had an opportunity to play football at a Division I school and had to weigh, the thoughts, the dreams. And I always thought, well, I can always go to the Marine Corps at any particular time or any given time, any time in the, in the future, but an opportunity to play football in college, that was my thought process, is that I better take this chance while I can, and but I was always kind of on the fence, with all of it. I didn't really have a passion for anything, and so I think I missed a lot of opportunities. I think I blew a lot of good deals that I had or opportunities that I had when I was younger because I was fairly aloof with everything that I did, not really driven or super dedicated to any one particular thought process. I've always kind of been a dreamer and somebody who thought about a lot of stuff. And so maybe I didn't take, the opportunity of playing football so seriously. And that cost me, that opportunity. I went into officer candidate school. I stayed with the thought of the Marine Corps, and I did that throughout the remaining years of my college. had a tremendous experience there and thought that I was going to be a Cobra attack helicopter pilot. When I got out of college, I was going to take my commission and become a helicopter pilot. But I fell in love in school and got married. And much to my surprise and maybe chagrin, my wife, when we got out of college, when I graduated, she was just like, yeah, we're not doing that. Like I'm not going to be the wife of a Marine. And I was like, oh, well, and then that's when this whole thing kind of kindled again, with the State Patrol mindset thing. It's like, well, if I'm not going to go be a helicopter pilot in the Marines, what in the world am I going to do to satisfy this drive, this, whatever it is inside me that, like, it goes pretty fast, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so then this, then it came full circle again to this Nebraska State Patrol thing. And I did that for 7 years. It was absolutely amazing. It was the coolest job that I've ever had. I would say that probably, owning a roofing company maybe isn't so cool. But the State Patrol was a really, really cool job. I got blessed to be able to do some really neat jobs. I was a canine handler and I was on a SWAT team. And so I got sent out to a lot of, just some really crazy experiences in doing that, in that endeavor. And I can honestly say that's been, I got out in 2020. 2000. So that's been 24 years ago.
Yeah.
I still miss it.
Wow.
I miss the guys,
Mm-hmm.
we were lucky to go and, I thought everybody was gone. I thought the entire, I thought all my boys, were all gone. And then, and we, were out here not too long ago and we're delivering donuts and coffee. How cliche, right?
Yeah.
We took donuts and coffee to the
police
Nebraska State Patrol office and to an office down the street from us here for Omaha Police. And I ran into one of my very favorite guys, and I don't think it's, I'm just going to say James Estwick, my trooper buddy. I can't remember what year he came on. He was already eligible to go, he said, but he still hung around, I guess maybe just to see me one more time.
I'll put a
Now he's
picture
done.
right here.
Yeah. But it was awesome to run into James, we go way back to when he very first started in the State Patrol. I know that I was one of the instructors for patrolling or defensive tactics or something like that in his class. So I've known him since the very first day he came in. He's an awesome dude.
Yeah.
Amazing person.
You always talk about the State Patrol fondly because you and I had a drive out to Beaver Creek Crossing.
Yep.
And this kind of leads into my next question because also on that drive you and I jammed out quite a bit in the car to some 80s and 70s.
Yep.
But if you were to give your day a soundtrack, right? You got morning, you got afternoon, and you got night. You got to pick one song for each. What are those three songs?
Are you kidding me? Like a soundtrack?
Yeah.
It's like a Disney movie when you wake up.
You wake up, what's the song that's playing?
Gosh, I don't know. I mean, everything for me is so evolutionary or cyclical. It depends on where I'm at in life.
Mm-hmm.
Right now I've rededicated myself to, morning routines and exercises, working out and stuff like that. So it would have to be something that has the beat of a 7.5 minute mile.
Mm-hmm.
That I could run to, that is, I think every single song on the Top Gun soundtrack. Wow.
So
80s,
we're going to
90s.
go Kenny Loggins for the more.
Yeah.
Okay.
No doubt that something like that, something that's very full of energy and drive, something like that, I suppose, would be my morning.
Shifting into the afternoon.
Shifting into afternoons, we got to drop back into the 70s because things get going so crazy for me. Crosby, Stills and Nash or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, Summer Breeze maybe.
Summer
It's
Breeze,
like,
baby.
yeah.
Yes.
Summer breeze.
Yeah,
Yeah,
something
that
that's something that is you know, like calming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, you know, it's a depends on the season of life kind of thing, because I've begun to listen to a lot less music and do a lot more podcasts.
Yeah.
Just so I can kind of amp up the learning. You know, it's like I've found that I took the company back over again a couple of years ago after kind of stepping down from leadership roles, or at least from the day-to-day running the business operations. And I was able to read a lot more. And I love to read. I love to learn. I love to just like consume every bit of energy and information that I get my hands on. And so podcasts have been a way for me to kind of like reinvigorate that thought process a little bit. And
Going
then,
into the night.
and then into the night, you know, like, you know, like into the nighttime, if it was a perfect evening, I would be home, I would be making supper. You know, I miss a lot of evenings, unfortunately, because stuff comes up, or I've got appointments that are, you know, sometime after work. Sometimes I don't get home until 8 or 10 o'clock at night. But on a perfect evening, it would end up being something that's dictated by our youngest, you know, which would end up being like Taylor Swift or something.
Yeah.
If there was music on. But right now, I would have to say, seasonally, that if I were home, if I were making supper, and if I was trying to drive my wife and our little girl crazy, it would be Christmas music.
Yes.
Because I love, like, it used to be that like the day after Thanksgiving, they, you know, flip the stations over to Christmas music,
Right.
but they start earlier and earlier every year. And it doesn't bother me one bit. I just love everything. And there's, you know, some certain, like, I like a modern kind of genre, you know, Christmas stuff, like, you know, all the redos that like Stevie Nicks, you know, like the 1980s and that sort of thing, you know, like redoing Christmas tunes, you know. So that's where I'm at right now.
There we go.
Start out with really good workout music in the morning, mellow in the afternoon, and then if I'm in the right place, in the right headspace, Christmas music at night, you know.
Nice.
Yeah. Those are good choices.
I like that. But who's our sponsor today, by the way?
Our sponsor is How was the Raiders game?
Yeah. How was the whole Vegas trip?
Yeah, how was the vibe?
The vibe was wild, you know. Like I've only been to probably like 3 or 4 professional sporting events in my entire life. Going back to the beginning on the theme, a lot of people think that since I played sports that I'm a big sports guy. I'm not. I'm not big into spectator sports. Like I don't go to a whole heck of a lot of games of any type. I just don't have a you know, like a really strong desire to, you know, go watch basketball or football or anything like that. But when I get invited along to an event like that, like we went and did hockey, or go to, you know, I've been to some stuff like basketball, going to this professional football game. It's not lost on me that it's kind of a spectacle and it's cool. So I kind of take it in. I love the people watch.
Yeah.
We were in Vegas for 3 days, and wow.
Yeah.
You know, like, just when you think you've seen it all,
Yeah.
go to Las Vegas for a couple of days, baby. Because
Yeah.
it's, I remember we were waiting for coffee one morning, and there was this dude that had like this Santa Claus like mustache that was like phenomenally big and bushy. And it just like, he didn't have a beard or anything like that, just this mustache that rolled off of his face and went all the way around to his ears. Like it was like stash chops. It was like the craziest thing. It was like a cloud hit him right in the middle of the face.
Yeah.
And I so wish that I would have taken a picture, you know, not to make fun of the guy, but it was just so intriguing. It's like,
It's not
I'd
something
really
you
like
see
to know
every
the,
day.
I'd like to know the story behind that, you know,
Yeah.
like how did it start? You know, why, you know,
Maybe he has a
what's going
routine.
on there?
I know you
wonder-
do. You have a
Let's not
routine.
talk about that.
The
Yeah.
beard routine.
The beard
Yeah.
routine.
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think everybody who has a beard has to have a beard routine. I tried to grow one once. Did you know that? Yeah. There's pictures floating around someplace of me with all kinds of facial hair. And like for a whole 6 months or something like that, and it just sucked. So I shaved it off. It's like
just in the sense of it itching, or
no, it just wasn't all that great of a beard.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like I tried to grow one. It was it just looked like an old man. So I was just like, well, all right, maybe that's just not for me. Like we've got people around here like your beard's attractive. It's good.
I'm gonna take that to the bank.
Yeah. Aaron, man, that guy can grow an amazing beard.
He's got a straight beard. Like,
Yeah.
I think he could do like a big wizard's beard if he wanted to.
And it grows fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, it grows fast, like overnight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like he'd shave and then the next day it's just like
Just
back
right
again.
back.
Like
Yeah.
sea
it's like-
monkeys, it's like he just decides he wants a beard, and the next day, there it is.
Yeah.
It's like,
His is like actual like head hair on his face, whereas mine is like a face shrub. Like I
Yeah.
have to trim it like a shrub.
and
Anyway,
that's crazy with him and his because he has like this most amazing beard that's like head hair, but he doesn't have head hair.
exactly. It all fell off. Of
It
his
all
head onto his
just
face.
slid down.
Yeah.
and like became part of his chin.
So we got a speed round of questions for you.
Mm-hmm.
A speed round.
Speed
Yeah.
round.
I
Just
thought
for-
we were in the speed round.
Oh no, we're in it now, baby. So, first thing that pops into your head, right? Just rattle it off. Not right now. Dream superpower.
Invisible.
Okay.
Favorite food to make.
My favorite food to make, I actually have two. In the summertime, it's steak and corn on the cob, and in the wintertime, it's roast with potatoes and carrots.
Hell yeah.
Yum.
Morning person or night owl?
I'm definitely a morning person. I'm in bed most nights by 9.
Favorite vacation spot.
You know what? I have been all over the world, and there's only two things that I care about: my family and being able to be present, right? And so my favorite vacation spots aren't a spot. They're with either my wife driving someplace. She's like the most amazing travel companion, because we can just like, we don't talk to each other sometimes for weeks on end.
Yeah.
Because she's got a crazy schedule that just doesn't meet with mine. But when we get time together, it's just magical. And then anywhere my kids are, so it doesn't matter if it's Hawaii, Mexico, Europe, whatever. It's like that's good for me.
Yeah.
Favorite movie?
No clue. I loved The Highlander when I was in high school. I actually named my son after the lead character in that movie, Connor
McLeod.
Yeah, my son's name was gonna be Connor McLeod, and my wife's like, "You're an idiot. You're not gonna name your son Connor McLeod." I am too, and I'm gonna teach him how to say, "I'm Connor McLeod of the Clan McLeod, and I'm immortal."
Yes.
Actually, what's funny is my daughter is named after a character in a movie also, from a movie called Chances Are.
Oh yeah.
There was a gal named Miranda in there that was just, adorable. And so that's where Miranda came from, and Connor from a movie also. But,
Wow.
No clue now. Things have changed so much from back in the days when I used to be actually able to get into a movie,
Yeah.
I just don't have such...
Well, what's your go-to Christmas movie?
It's still Elf. Yeah.
Elf.
Yeah, Elf.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Oh, what is one thing on your bucket list?
That changes too. I for the longest time in my life, I thought for sure that as soon as I was able to retire or slow down or do something where I could take like a whole month off of work, I don't know if I'll ever do that. But if I did, I always had this dream about getting on my big motorcycle and driving all the way to the top of Alaska, this place called Prudhoe Bay, and people do that.
Oh, you're going all the way through the boreal forest, like
The whole 9 yards. Yeah.
That is intense.
But I've changed my mind. I decided I'm selling all my motorcycles, and I've thought about, just doing a trip, like where maybe I do it in a sports car or do it even in a Suburban. I don't know. But I thought about taking my Jeep across country, like with the top off, do something crazy, stupid.
Yeah.
Are we talking about the violent waterbed of a Jeep? That one?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. It would have to be something that's a challenge. It would have to be
my
something
gosh.
that's
This, by the
to
way, this thing has no air conditioning, right?
Oh, of course not.
No air conditioning.
You don't want to have anything in that machine that would sap any of the power that it takes to climb to the highest of the hills and go through the deepest of the valleys, right? Like, so it's it is a wickedly basic, but very capable machine. I mean, like, we've spent a lot of time and energy and money to make that thing so it'll climb anything. You know?
Right, and I believe that. But whenever I was driving it on the highway to Fremont one time,
that was a crazy.
It's like a violent waterbed because of the suspension.
Well, there is no. I mean, like the suspension, all of the things that quiet a suspension on a modern vehicle that you would expect to make it easy to drive on the road, that's all been taken off or unhooked on that Jeep so that you can get the greatest amount of wheel travel up and down so that you can always have 4 points of contact. And you're like you can drive that thing at an angle through a ditch and it won't tip over and it won't even hesitate to just go right back out the other side. That's the good news. The bad news is that you may find yourself in a ditch if you're trying to drive that thing down the street because it'll catch you off guard. You know, it's like and today's modern vehicles that we have, they're so, they're just so finely tuned to be a pleasure to drive and to be safe. Yeah. That Jeep is anything but safe. You know, and then you put me behind the wheel and it only compounds the problem, right? Like it's for sure the kind of thing that's like that would be a definite adventure. Yeah. But no more dangerous than taking a motorcycle for, I think it's something like, well, to get to Anchorage is like 3,200 miles or something like that. That's intense. And then, it's a long ways up to the top part of the state. It would take like a whole month to do it.
Quick aside, have either of you ridden with him yet?
No. I have.
Did you scare her?
I don't know. I've been trying to be more tame.
It wasn't bad.
Okay.
They lost me a couple times.
We couldn't find Cindy.
I've tried to really, really tame down my driving. I've been pulled over a few times, even though I was a state trooper for lots and lots of years.
I believe it.
The irony.
Had, some of the guys pull me over and be like, dude, like, you can't do this, But I've definitely calmed down over the last 25 years.
Last one on the speed round. Favorite hobby?
Do I have a hobby?
That's exactly what we're asking. Exactly what we're asking.
I would have to say hunting, because it's one of the few things that I just, I do take time and I do make time for. Yeah. I love to travel and I love to hunt, and I try to put as much of those together as I possibly can. We went on a hunt down in Texas. So much fun recently. And that's probably it. I love to shoot. I love, I, despite the fact that I'm fairly well spoken, I'm a complete redneck. I love Jeeps. I love guns. I love to go hunting. I love to just spend time in nature. Mm-hmm. It's really the only place that I find calm. And so that's I guess, if it's a hobby, that's what I have. Nice.
I do want to add one more question, because I know you mentioned you love reading. So if you were an author, what kind of genre would you write?
Well, that changes too, because I did write, and I was a fiction writer. But now it would be, either autobiographical or something historical. Or just, it would be just horrible to say, like, some sort of book that is like self-help type of thing. Because my intention wouldn't be necessarily to give people advice to go like, hey, if you just do things the way that I do, you'd be successful. Because I think for most people that would be a horrible choice. But something that would say, not do things the way that I do them, but would inspire you to think for yourself, and then ignite some kind of flame. So it wouldn't be instruction; it would be inspiration to go out and do something that more than what we limit ourselves. Right. We limit ourselves so much, and I'm not saying that in a judgmental way. I look at my own life. We were just having a conversation about this the other day, about some of the dumb decisions that I've made in life, some of the things that I've chosen to put so much time and energy into, and then 10 years later and looking back going like, why did I waste so much time? Why was I not thinking so much bigger? And so that would be like, if I were to write, the ultimate book, hopefully it would inspire somebody to just broaden their perspective a little bit. Again, I always tell people, like when we're having discussions, or we're in a meeting, or I'm putting on some sort of seminar of sorts, I'm not all that smart. What you get to draw on is a lot of perspective. I have done just about everything wrong when it comes to building a business at least twice. And so it's like, if I can impart a little bit of that wisdom, if you will, I guess that's what you call it, right? When you learn from your mistakes, you gain wisdom. Then perhaps that would serve somebody well, and I suppose that could be some subject matter related to that in a book.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's a good question. Who's the next sponsor for the next break?
Why are you always asking me?
Because it's more fun when you think of it.
My piano,
By the way, what
Yamaha.
do you think of the set so far?
Yeah.
No, I already told you, I love this. It's like, it's comfy, it's quaint. I'm confused, but then that's also
that is what we're going for.
Yeah. It's also something that you guys who are creative just amaze me, because I don't have creative. I'm a very linear thought process kind of person. I can fix anything. If it's broken, I can make it go again. There might be a few parts left over when I'm done putting it all back together, but I just don't have that creative mind that you guys have got. So like anytime I'm around, or you're talking about your keyboard, like people who can do music, oh my gosh, just mind blowing to me. Like I don't have any musical talent, so I can sit and listen though. Like I've been to New Orleans a few times, and like to just walk into, some little joint and see like, maybe there's just this like 60-year-old black dude in there and like this 22-year-old white dude. And you just sit there and listen to these two guys just improvise and jam for like an hour. And then there'll be like a little break, and it's like, yeah, I just met this guy today. And I'm like, what? Like, no way, just popped into town, happened to come in here, liked the vibe, and just started jamming, and it's just like, that is the most amazing thing to me, because it's just something that I don't have that gift. I wasn't born with that, and so like when I see people who have got that and, bringing it back to this, like any kind of creative ability and talent, I just love, like I can build a house. Just don't ask me what color to paint the bathroom, because that's just outside my realm, like I have no clue, no clue. Does this go together? And my little girl will just laugh at me. It's like, nope, don't wear that.
Yeah.
So once again, this is still the MooseCast episode with Pat, brought to you by
Moose Roofing. Isn't just another roofing company. We're not just building roofs, we're building relationships. As your local roofing experts, we take pride in being part of the community. Trust us to keep you safe and dry season after season. Moose Roofing, your full roofing needs solution company.
Dale has a lot of lore within this podcast as well. He's got
Yeah.
but
you go with that word lore again. I always think you're saying allure.
Allure.
no, it's
So
it's
demure.
the moose
So
lore.
The moose lore.
Yep.
Okay, here we go.
Okay, welcome back.
Are we back?
Yes.
We're back.
We are
Who are we
back.
sponsored by on our third half of the show?
Yeah.
We'll get there. I was thinking Wendy's, but that's going to be big money if that's the case. But that being said, we got a game for you.
Yeah.
Whenever we first get hired on, everyone has to fill out a sheet of their favorite things and turn that in, right? I don't know if you know that or remember that.
I think I saw yours.
I had no idea. I filled out a sheet.
You
Yeah,
filled out a
it
sheet.
was like 3 questions.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I didn't know we did that. A, and B, I had no idea I did that. And
Yeah.
I would think that I would remember such an activity.
Yeah.
I hope you're not going to ask me what all of these people enjoy, because I couldn't tell you what my things were.
No.
Okay.
You got so
Okay.
you can go ahead and tell them.
Okay. So here's your board.
This is my board. Who
Yes.
are all these people? I've never seen these people before.
Strangers.
So we got to narrow it down.
Yeah.
You're looking for one person here.
Yeah.
One
Okay.
person. Okay.
And this is going to be determined by their favorite things that they filled out when they first got hired on.
How well do you know your peeps?
I don't even know me. All right, go ahead. Let's see.
Okay.
So, favorite restaurant.
They pick. I love Cheddar's.
Cheddar's is their favorite restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
So, what you need to do now is rule out whomever you think is off the board at this point.
Yeah.
Rule out whoever I think is off the board.
Yeah.
And you just turn them down.
Who wouldn't pick Cheddar's
Who
as their
wouldn't
first?
pick Cheddar's? Well, I don't. Okay, I think I know who would pick Cheddar's.
Oh, wow.
Oh, whoa.
Okay.
That's amazing.
Alrighty.
Okay.
So, fast food. Chipotle.
Who's
I
your?
already know who the answer to this is. It's Randy.
Close.
Oh,
Very
I'm wrong?
close.
Yeah.
So we'll give you. We'll you can turn them back up and we'll keep going.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll
So
keep
you'll know
going.
it's not Randy now, so you can flip down Randy.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. This is crazy. Here I thought I was going to amaze you with my, what's this called? Guess Who prowess?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Who's Who prowess? Well, I've never played Guess Who. I don't think anyway. So, but okay. So we know it's not Randy.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
So far we've got Cheddar's and Chipotle.
Yep.
Yeah.
Places to shop. The West Road Mall.
What?
Uh-huh. Meal. Steak and potatoes.
Are you sure it's not Randy?
Promise you. Promise you.
Favorite meal, steak and potatoes. Favorite place to shop, the West Roads Mall. I think whoever it was lying to you. Okay, I know this isn't it. That can't be it. That can't be it. Not here. No.
So we'll keep going.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Favorite flower.
Roses.
The roses.
Good grief.
Okay. If you were to get him a gift card, Amazon, or get them a gift card rather, sorry.
All right.
All right.
That would be him. Well, that eliminates who I thought it was besides Randy. Okay.
Okay. Their favorite hobbies are bowling and basketball.
You need to turn anybody up. Yeah. Color, black.
Their favorite color is black.
Their favorite scent.
Lavender.
Are you kidding me? Okay.
Okay. So we'll finish the rest of these.
Mm-hmm.
You got your final three. Don't turn anybody down until we finish, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
So,
They're not a fan of any candy.
no candy.
No candy.
Favorite fruit is a banana.
Mm-hmm. Their favorite dessert is bundt cake, specifically vanilla.
Ice cream, vanilla.
They love chocolate chip cookies.
Their chips that they like are honey barbecue lays. Snacks, honey buns.
Their favorite drink is protein shake.
Is this Robert?
Mr. Robert Price.
It is Robert.
Yes.
Dang. Okay. Well, he's the one I flipped back up.
I knew that.
You guys got me at basketball, and I was
The
like,
ba-
now hold on a second here.
Yeah.
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 What was the main thing that was like, yeah, that's Robert?
Yeah, I don't know. It was just, I do know a lot about Robert, and there was just way too many things that were starting to add up on there. So so it made it, I guess, at some point in time. And that's the reason why, because Randy and Robert spend so much time together.
Right.
That's the reason why I was misled at first. Thinking that it was that I knew right away. I should have listened some more before I made my choice. But you guys know what? I have a habit of doing that. I'm so decisive and a typical male egomaniac that like I make decisions very quickly about things that I like, that I don't like, that I think I know, that I think I don't know. I don't think I know everything, but I will decide very quickly about whether or not I do know about a particular subject matter. So, it only took me 2 guesses.
Yeah.
I'll bet
that was pretty good.
I'll bet that we will. I want to see the outcome, because are you guys gonna do this more often?
Yeah,
probably. Yeah, I think we're gonna do this with every guest.
Yeah. Well, every MooseCast.
Every MooseCast.
Yeah,
Every MooseCast. Well, yeah, because it would have to be. You'd have to know the people. In the pictures, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, who knows? Robert might have changed his mind since he wrote that.
Yeah, that's
well.
He filled
No,
it out.
I mean, like, I'm not making any accommodation for myself about why I was too hasty in my first choice. I would have had it narrowed down to probably Randy and Robert and 2 other people by that time anyway, and then I just would have had to guess. So.
Yeah. Well, our next game, I created it. It's called our music emoji game. So I won't be part of it, but I know you 2 are music lovers. So let's see how well you know your music. Your songs.
So how does this work?
So I put up different emojis to try to describe what the song is, and then you guess what the song is based on the emojis. So
and we don't have, we're not working in any particular genre, particular
it's all
decade.
Random.
Well, this may not be my forte necessarily.
All right, shall we begin?
So I think I saw the preview for this one, and I think I know which one this is.
Well, then you call it, because I don't.
It's got to be Thriller. Michael Jackson.
Go ahead.
Got it.
Yeah. The zombie. Right? They were zombies, right?
Yes.
Yeah, in the music video.
Yeah.
They were zombies.
Okay, perfect. Next.
Wait a second.
This one looks suspicious.
Give me a genre.
Pop?
Great.
I don't know.
Dancing Queen? ABBA?
Okay.
Yes.
Wow.
Okay.
Dude, this is
my thing, baby. Might be my thing.
Yeah,
we might have to do more of these.
This is Eye of the Tiger by Survivor.
Yeah, baby.
Knife, and I presume that's blood. God.
It does get harder.
Yeah.
It's harder as time goes on.
Yes.
I smashing
a knife
pumpkins
and blood
in a butterfly.
And a butterfly. Cut my heart. And stabbed me in the throat. Probably is that a butterfly? Because it looks actually more like a moth.
Yeah, it's a butterfly.
It's a butterfly. Okay.
No guesses?
I got nothing.
Okay, proceed.
Killer butterfly. Gotcha.
Oh. Yeah, I never would have gotten that in a million years.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, I'm not that big of a Beatles fan.
Same. You have to guess this first before I say anything. I know exactly which one this is.
Total Eclipse of the Heart by
My
Bonnie
man.
Tyler.
My man's.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. Got a guess?
No.
I do.
Go for it.
It's falling rain. Fall rain. I was just guessing.
I was.
Oh,
I didn't want to trip you up if you already.
No, I didn't have anything.
you're pretty close.
Autumn rain. Autumn. Fall.
November rain.
November rain. There you go.
Yes.
Wow,
There
very
you
good.
go.
Yeah.
I got one. I know the secrets that you keep.
Oh, okay.
Talking in your sleep.
Yeah. Let's see what it is.
No! Come on.
I think it matches pretty well though. Yeah. This one's pretty hard.
This one's hard?
Yeah, it was.
I don't know them. Danny keeps looking at me like I don't know. I haven't seen these.
Okay.
So I can't give away anything.
I got nothing for this one.
So the other one was so it was before this
Mm-hmm.
was go back to the one before.
Oh, Dancing Queen. Is that
No,
what you're thinking?
No,
No, it was Dream On.
Dream On. So that was Z's and
Mm-hmm.
like a cloud and a microphone. Dream On by Aerosmith. And then this one is a sunset and a dancer and the same microphone.
I got nothing.
Well, I don't either. I'm perplexed.
Go ahead. Uptown Girl.
Girl. Oh, yeah. I was going way wrong on that. Yeah.
Hey, you got some of them.
We did.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking, I was actually thinking downtown.
Downtown.
Or then
Yeah.
or something to do with the sunset
Yeah.
downtown. So yeah, I was heading in the wrong direction.
Well, you got November Rain.
Yes.
Dude.
You were really
that
close, yeah.
That was awesome.
Oh.
Oh, I
That
thought
was it.
Yeah.
Back to
I
the
saw
fire.
a cat trumpet. And I was like,
Yeah.
now what are we doing?
Yeah. Well, should we talk about the holiday party? Like
Absolutely,
a little
we should.
recap. We did talk about this in like our holiday special, but from like our perspectives.
Well, I haven't seen the holiday special, so I haven't watched it.
Well, how was, what did you think of the party?
Well, okay, so firstly, with the whole holiday party,
Yeah.
I hate it that a weather event kept some people from attending.
Yeah.
So like that was, like crushing because I feel like that everybody in this company is the reason why we're having the holiday party in the first place, right?
Exactly.
Like it's every single person in their own way doing what they do here
Right.
that made that possible in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
And so the thought to me, like I'm kind of one of those people who it's like I want everything to be. I don't ever ask for perfection from anyone. I always just say like, give me your best effort,
Yeah.
But I still want things to be perfect. I can't help it, and it's like, it's not perfect to me if somebody can't be there, you know?
Right.
And so, when Wyatt, and Jessica, like they had to turn around, and well, everybody did. I mean,
Rob
like
got into a wreck.
Rob, like Dustin and Sam, that was a bummer,
Yeah.
but overall impression, I felt like it was awesome. The venue was great, the food. I mean, like it may be suspect a little bit because I feel like that might be the reason why, like people got sick. Is that did we get exposed to a virus there? Was there, was it food something? And I'm not going to say where we went and talk anything about the venue because what I will say about all of that is that the venue was awesome. The service was incredible. I thought the food was just, absolutely spectacular.
Yeah, it was good.
And I loved the vibe that we created,
Yeah.
it was the most awesome thing, And so when we get a chance to take a break and celebrate, I'm all about that, like we don't get to do that very often. And I'm not like, I'm not the most thoughtful person in the whole world. That probably doesn't surprise anybody. I don't know if that was a conception or a misconception. I'm just not very thoughtful.
Right.
So like some people are really good at going like, we should give that person a gift, or, you should say something besides, like, good job not sucking today. Like, maybe give somebody, congratulations for something, or, like people have birthdays, people have kids, and it's just like, oh yeah, great idea. Thanks for grabbing that, basket, of fruit or baby clothes or whatever, like I get propped up here a lot, like, cause we've got some of the most, amazing employees. It's like you guys with your creative, it's like if I was left to my own devices, this is something like this would never happen. And so I'm very appreciative of, you, the two of you, and for Amy for putting all that together. And it was just like, I thought it was absolutely incredible. Awesome. I thought it was amazing.
I like of all the days too, like it just had to get icy.
Yeah.
Even that earlier that day when Josie and I went to go set up, it was like, normal.
Well, that's what, I was on the phone actually with my wife, and she's like, so did you guys, when I was driving, because I didn't get to see her before we went.
Yeah.
She still had stuff going on for school, and our daughter was working and stuff like that. And so I didn't actually get to talk to him before I went to the Christmas party.
Yeah.
She's like, did you cancel the Christmas party? I'm like, what? Was this a joke? What are you talking about? She's like, oh yeah, the ice storm. She's like, I'm sliding all over the place. I'm like, where are you? Like, are we in the same city?
Yeah.
Because when I was on my way in, it wasn't anything. And then while I was driving, it started raining, and the road started getting just instantly slick.
Yeah.
Just like
Immediate,
that.
out of nowhere.
And so, and then I'm going like, well, if my wife knew, I mean, like, she's, pretty oblivious. That's not a slam. But just like she's not typically the person who's like all up on, driving conditions and, everything like that. It's like, well, if she knew, why didn't either the city of Omaha or the state of Nebraska know? And why didn't they have, all of their sand trucks, and I don't know what they all do, but why didn't they have all that stuff out there, to save people from, they said, I heard on the way back in on the plane today, or when I hit the ground or something, from a news blurb that like there was over 500 accidents or something like that.
I believe it.
And it's just like, ugh. So that part's a bummer, but I'm glad that nobody on our crew got hurt. Everybody had a good night.
He took a tumble.
So the thick layer of ice on the brick road in downtown.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I took a fall. There was a couple out there walking their dog, and as I'm going back to my vehicle, and the dog is just sliding everywhere, and I'm like, okay, cool, and I'm penguin walking around them, and in an instant, I'm Charlie Brown. It is awful. I bust ass, and she's like, "Oh my God, are you okay? It was a really hard fall." I'm like, "I'm good. Just go." And they started like trying to hurry to come help me up, and they started sliding as well. Like, it was a nightmare.
Oh gosh.
That, and all these ladies in heels that night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Well, that's what we started sending out text messages going like, guys, drop your ladies off in front of the door, so that we can get them inside, like without having to wipe out. Cause there was some heels there.
Yeah. Didn't Laura fall too?
Laura fell probably 4 times. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Laura ate it quite a few times. I know Mark's wife took a few spills as well. It was a good time though.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a good time. But really at this point, do you have anything else for?
No.
So we're going to end the podcast on people wiping out on the ice?
Absolutely.
Well, then, like Trey, he bit it.
He
lost
really?
his keys. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, like, if we're going to end, let's end ugly.
Absolutely. Let's do it.
Yeah. He lost his keys. He didn't get them back until the next morning. So that was a little bit of a bummer.
Did you lose them at the restaurant?
No, on the way to the hotel.
Oh.
Gosh.
Or on the way back. I don't know. I just heard, I was gone, this is just all, stuff that I picked up from talking to people while I was traveling.
Yeah, it
Traveling
was.
this week.
Whenever I got there was a family that were all daisy chained together, and one went, and they all
Domino effect.
Domino effect.
Yeah.
They all yank each other down, and I'm like, okay, now I know I got a penguin walk across the street here,
Yeah,
and I did.
There's some good learning, metaphor there. I'm
Yeah.
pretty confident. we could turn into something positive to end the podcast on.
Yeah.
Like, what would be something positive to talk about?
New year.
A new year.
Well, I
Coming
think
up
we're
on
all
it.
super freaking pumped for this new year.
Yeah. It's going to be, we thought this year was amazing. And this is honest, guys. Like, we have never been, as I talked about only doing this much stuff right.
Right.
Like we're gonna crank that all the way up to about right here next year.
Yeah.
Like we have never been poised, and we've never been in a better position as what we are right now. Like ready to start planning, getting ourselves, like amped up to go into a new season. And I feel really, really confident and really good about where we are right now and the opportunities that we're going to have in 2025. Just with the amount of I hate to, well, no, I don't hate to. We are a very strong, very cohesive unit. I was going to say I hate to jinx something, but I don't believe in that.
No, there's no way.
I think
There's
that
no way.
I think that you say what you mean. I think that the words that we say and the things that we think about have a direct effect on our successes and failures. And so, we are going to absolutely crush 2025. I've got no doubt that we're going to hit our goal, and that we're going to just have the most spectacular year ever.
From all
Yeah.
aspects.
I think-
From
From
every
all
direction.
aspects.
Yeah, from
Yeah.
all departments.
Because
I
it's
know-
not just about sales, and it's not
Right.
just about refining production. It's going to be social.
Right.
It's going to be, it's going to be everything,
Yeah.
I'm jacked about the whole 9 yards.
We got goals and we got to smash them, baby.
yeah.
Yep.
I was going to say it's going to be easy. I think it is going to be easy in terms of like with our culture that we have built here,
Mhm.
Yeah.
'Cause
Well, it does get easier.
it does.
Like that is one thing that, we started out this with misconceptions.
Mhm.
Both failure and success are habits, and they both get easier the more you do them.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
It gets easy to fail. I see that in people all the time choosing like, well, it's probably not going to work out for me. If that's what you believe, then that will absolutely
With that
be the
attitude,
choice,
absolutely. Yeah.
and I'm not, like some people, will criticize me of being far too optimistic. My wife, I think, one time said delusionally so. Optimistic, and that I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I'll take that. But and I don't necessarily mean that all you have to do is just lay claim to what you want and it just magically appears. That's not how it works.
Right.
But I can guarantee you that if you say, hey, these are our goals and this is the stuff that we want to accomplish, and you're all working towards that, all saying and doing the same things, you've got a much better chance of hitting that goal than people who are the naysayers that wander about aimlessly and say nothing good ever happens to me.
Yeah. And on the note of being delusionally optimistic, I don't think there's ever been anything beautiful born without some sort of madness attached to it.
Yeah. There does have to be a little bit of craziness, I think. If you're going to really do something cool, then there's got to be a little bit of nuts. You see this all the time, like on podcasts or books that you read, or success stories that however you take them in. Like some of those people who are really, really successful are kind of broken in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
That they maybe don't function really well in society, or just have such incredible drive that maybe they're not the most popular people. Even amongst family, right? You got to have a little bit of crazy if you want to do something really, really spectacular. I think you got to kind of be pushing it a little bit.
Yeah.
And that's the theme of today, actually. Thank you for coming on.
Yeah.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you, Pat.
Theme of
Yeah.
my podcast, my episode is a little bit crazy.
It's a little bit crazy.
Okay. All right. I'll take
Nothing. If there's anything beautiful born, it's got to be born out of some form of madness,
There
for
you
sure.
go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
But thank you for coming on.
Thank
All right.
you.
This is going to
Glad
be
to be here.
a wonderful, wonderful year.
I'm very excited to edit this.
I'm pumped.
I'm pumped.
I'm gonna cut out all of my parts.
But you know the drill at this point, right? You're on YouTube already, so there's a thumbs up. Hit that. There's a subscribe button. You just got to click on that as well. We got other videos you can check out, but within the lore of what we've built here at Moose, go to our Instagram. We got that going as well. We got a TikTok as well. We got a Facebook on that note. So just wherever you find us, just love us a little bit and share it around. But
Yeah, sharing is caring.
Yes.
I've always been and forever will be Danny.
I'll be Cindy.
I'll be Josie.
I'll continue with Pat as long as that works.
Yeah.
I think it works for us, but either way, this is going to be a crazy ride in 2025. So just strap in, hold on to your butts. Smooches, love you, always.